New Orleans Saints on the road at the New York Jets, and this is where we got another mallet finger game here, guys. The Saints are 5.5 point road favorites. 42.5 to 43 is your total. Steven, none of us have a bet in on this one. I know you were at least flirting with one. This is the game for me. I probably won't even watch this week. I want absolutely nothing to do at all with this game. I mean, look, you got a quarterback that's not good in the first place who's going to try to play through mallet finger, and you've got the New York Jets on the other side of the field. So for me, look, I have a limited amount of television. I got a lot of TVs in my living room. I don't have enough to put this one up on the screen. I'll put it that way. Like, if there's like CFL going on at the same time, I think CFL will probably get a screen as opposed to this one. What in the world is making you want to bet this one?
I haven't bet it yet, but I'm thinking about it. Interesting to me that this number moved towards the Jets earlier this week, got as low as 5, I think, and we're back to 5.5 now. I would need 6 to consider the Jets, and 7 would be an auto bet, but I don't think we're going to get there at this point. 7 is about what most power ratings have these two teams on a neutral field, but this Saints team has regressed a lot. The biggest factor for me is they just keep losing players. I know Alvin Kamara looks like he might be back this week, but their tackles, Teron Armstead was limited Wednesday. Ryan Ramczyk still didn't practice again Wednesday. Their defensive end, Cam Jordan's on the COVID list. Mark Ingram's on the COVID list. They just cut Kenny Stills, and wide receiver Deontay Harris is now suspended, who is happening to be one of their more higher snap count wide receivers at this point in the season. Their linebacker, Pete Werner, DMP on Wednesday. Marcus Davenport was limited. So they just have, we haven't even mentioned all the other players that were early season starters that are already on IR. So they're just running out of players, and the Jets have kept it within 7 against a handful of mediocre offenses this year. The Texans, the Dolphins, the Falcons, the Titans. I'd put the Saints offense in that category at this point. So, and since week 8, the Jets offense has been 11th in EPA and 4th in success rate, far better than the Saints offense, which is below the top 25 in both of those categories. So I haven't bet it yet. I need 6 to consider it, but that's kind of just where I'm at. Believe it or not, I have more faith in the Jets offense than I do the Saints.
Yeah, I mean, look, if a 6 popped, it would be at least minimally interesting for me on the Jets side. That being said, I'm just super, super down on the Saints. I have been all year. I did before the season, even coming into the season, I was down on the Saints. And so, with all the injuries, with the way that things are playing out, with the choice to go with Taysom Hill at quarterback with mallet finger, there's just all kinds of things for me that lead me to want to bet against this team. Brad, that being said, it's the Jets that I would have to be betting on. Corey Davis had to go to the IR because he had core muscle surgery. So now their big free agent acquisition not going to be out there for this team to try to make some plays and whatnot, which just gives me a whole lot of pause. And like I said, probably just a game that will exist out in the ether for me. I don't even know if I'll watch a single snap. What do you think of this one?
I was tempted a little bit by the under again. I seem to have bet every under on the board. So, I mean, those Jets stats, I'd be careful of them because a lot of them were not Zach Wilson.
True.
He's got a 25 QBR on the season, 6 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. They scored 3 touchdowns last week against the Eagles, but then they got shut out the second half. The first touchdown they scored came off like an 80-yard kick return. So, I still think he's pretty bad, basically. And it's still a good Saints defense. They should get Davenport back this week. He was limited practice. And then, this is the fifth defense by DVOA, the second ranked defense by PFF. So I think the Saints, they definitely be able to confuse them. They do a lot of sort of shifting up coverages late, dropping safeties that don't look like they're dropping. They confused Dak a couple of times in that Thursday night game. So I think Zach Wilson might be a little bit at sea. And then, do we trust mallet finger Taysom Hill to ravage the Jets? I don't personally. I think there'll probably be a lot of running, a lot of Alvin Kamara into the line. So 43.5, again, that I would only look to the under there.